I left my boyfriend for no reason. I was out at the sports bar with my now ex Eric and his friends last month. Eric and his buddy Mark were being typical drunk idiots, making jokes about how Mark was demolishing an entire plate of nachos like he hadn't eaten in days. Eric laughed and said something like, "Dude, slow down before you eat the whole damn place." That's when Mark looked straight at me with this weird smirk and said, "If only she knew." The entire table went dead silent, like you could hear the ice clinking in glasses across the room. I had no clue what the hell Mark was talking about, but my stomach dropped immediately. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and everyone stops talking? That's exactly what this was. Before I could even ask what he meant, Eric completely lost his mind. He started screaming at Mark to shut the fuck up, calling him every name in the book. He actually tried to lunge across the table at him, but their other friends Jake and Chris had to physically hold him back. Mark just sat there smiling like nothing happened, which made Eric even more pissed. The whole bar was staring at us. Eric was still yelling, his face bright red, veins popping out of his neck. I grabbed his arm and told him we needed to leave. Now. On the drive back to my apartment, I kept asking him what Mark meant. Eric just gripped the steering wheel tighter and told me to drop it, but I couldn't. That comment was eating at me, and Eric's reaction made it 10 times worse. When we got to my place, I tried again. "Eric, what did Mark mean by if only she knew? What don't I know?" He exploded, started pacing around my living room, running his hands through his hair, telling me I was being paranoid and crazy. Every time I asked a simple question, he'd dodge it and get angrier. I wasn't trying to start a fight, I just wanted answers, but he acted like I was interrogating him for murder. After about 30 minutes of this back and forth, he grabbed his jacket and stormed out, slammed my door so hard the pictures on the wall shook. I locked the deadbolt and went to bed. The next morning, my phone was blowing up with texts from him. Not apologies, just more angry messages telling me to drop it and leave him alone. That's when I knew I was done. I texted him back, "We're over. I need space. If you can't be honest with me after 2 years, then what's the point?" Then I blocked his number. But here's where it gets really messed up. Within 2 days, our mutual friends started reaching out. Apparently, Eric was going around telling everyone I left him for no reason, and that I was crazy and overreacting. My friend Jessica called me Tuesday night saying Eric seemed really hurt, and maybe I should just let it go. Then Chris texted me saying I was blowing things out of proportion, and that Mark was probably just drunk and being stupid. I told them all to mind their own damn business. None of them were sitting at that table. None of them saw Eric's reaction. None of them had to live with that pit in their stomach wondering what their boyfriend was hiding. But the worst part? Mark posted on Instagram 2 days later, a picture of him and some girl I'd never seen before at a restaurant. The caption said, "Finally told her the truth." I screenshot it before he deleted it an hour later. I showed it to Jessica, and she went quiet for a long time. Then she admitted that Mark had been bragging to people about helping Eric out with something, but she thought it was just guy talk. That confirmed everything I needed to know. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't overreacting. Something was definitely going on, and Eric would rather lose me than be honest about it. 3 weeks later, I found out through the grapevine what Mark was talking about. Turns out Eric had been messaging his ex-girlfriend Emma behind my back for months. Not just casual stuff. I'm talking late-night conversations, meeting up for coffee when he told me he was at work, the whole thing. Mark knew about it and had been covering for him. The "if only she knew" comment was Mark getting drunk and almost spilling the secret. That's why Eric freaked out so hard.